Outschool Breakout. Have you ever wanted to know how you can do group work on Outschool or in any class that you're teaching on a Zoom classroom? So today I'm going to show you how to do just that. And I'm going to teach you how to do it pain-free so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did the very first time I did. If you're new here, this channel focuses on how you can improve your online teaching skills and accelerate your income. Wait, what was that? What was that? You're not subscribed? Come on now, click that subscribe button. Do it. You don't want to miss the tips that I have to give you, I promise. They're gonna be good. Okay, so if you've ever been to a public school before, or even if you haven't been to public school, maybe you've been to college since you're older, or like Girl Scouts or 4-H or something, and your mentor, your leader, your teacher, they might separate you into groups. Okay, this group's gonna do this group's gonna do this, we're gonna come back together and share our work. There is a reason, my bird's loud, there's a reason that this is done in the education system. It isn't just a thing to do. It's an awesome thing to do. Yeah, you tell them, Chi-Chi. It's awesome. It allows students to be more independent. It encourages teamwork. They learn how to collaborate and work well with others. And it's just really good time to have student-guided learning where the students are kind of in charge of it, more or less, instead of teacher-guided learning. So instead of having like the teachers say, everybody follow me and this is what we're going to do, the students are actually forced to be a little bit more responsible, but it's also fun and it changes it up. And when you can change things up in your classes and not have it get stagnant, that's always a good thing too. So there are multiple ways that group work, these breakout rooms, are good for your students. And I'm going to tell you, when it's done right, your students are going to love them. I can tell you this from experience. I can tell you when you do it wrong, it's not a good thing either. So when you do a breakout room, you're giving your students the opportunity to immediately put into practice what you teach them. So one of my most popular classes, I teach it 14 times a week, and it's almost always sold out, is a class where I go over reading and writing skills, and we do different things every week. This week we're working on poetry and we're working on acrostics. So I've actually tried this lesson before and I failed miserably, and I'm going to tell you what not to do so that you don't do it as well. First time that I did this class with the acrostics, I was going to do their names. We were all going to do our names in class. Unfortunately, I was not very well prepared and I didn't assess my students' abilities appropriately. So when it came down to it, this ended up taking 3 classes to do everybody in the class's names. Once I started it, I realized that it wasn't the right way, but I really couldn't stop it because I had to make sure that everybody's names got done. I had overestimated the abilities of my students, and it didn't go very well. And the last class, this is something I had wanted to do, is I wanted to try the breakout rooms. So the last class I said, we're going to try a breakout room and I'm going to split you into different groups. I gave them a word to do that was honestly too long. I thought that 7, 8, 9-year-olds would be able to do a longer word like this, but for many of them this was the very first time that they've ever done any kind of poetry, and giving them a big word was just way too much. It was way too complicated. The other mistake that I made was I didn't tell them how to ask for help if they needed help. So while I was in one of the breakout rooms, it only took a couple of seconds. A little boy got really frustrated, ended up crying and leaving the class, and I felt terrible. Like, I messaged the mom afterwards. I felt terrible. But we have moved on from there, and I've learned how to do it successfully. So the very first thing that I do in my particular class, and I'm not telling you to rip off my classes, I just really wanted to show you how I did it so I can show you like how we were working, how I set it up. So the first thing I did was I asked all the students, who here has ever been to public school? Show of hands, who's been to public school? Okay, that's great. All right, you know, when you're in public school, or maybe you're in a dance club or 4-H or something like that, you might have like the person in charge splits you into different groups and you have to do group work. Has anybody ever done that? Most of the time, even if they're homeschooled, they've done some sort of group work, but even if they haven't, they can get the concept really fast. So I explain to them that's what we're going to be doing. And then I ask them who has ever done a breakout room. Sometimes one kid in the class may have done it before. Usually most of the kids or all of the kids have not, and they're not familiar with it. So I tell them, okay, this is what we're going to do. We are going to learn something, and then you guys are going to do it in groups. So first, let's see what we're learning. So then I show them what we're learning. We do one of them together. I give them an example. We do it all together as an entire group. And then I tell them, okay, I'm going to separate you guys into groups. Who here, I always want a team leader. That was another mistake I made in the beginning. I didn't assign a team leader. So every student felt that it was their responsibility to do everything. Even if their writing skills were lower and they couldn't write, it was their responsibility to write everything down. And that's why my one student got really, really stressed out, because he wasn't at that level and he felt he couldn't keep up with the rest of the group. So you want to have one student that is in charge of making sure everything gets written down. This is how I do it anyways. And that way you kind of know who your groups are even. So when I do it, I say, okay, who here is very, very comfortable writing? Pick two of them. And I said, you guys are going to be the team leaders. And then I go into the breakout rooms, and I will show you a video at the end of this that tells you how to actually navigate the breakout rooms. So then I tell the students, I'm going to press a button here. And once I press this button, you're going to have a box that pops up on your screen. And it's going to give you the option to join. You want to make sure that you click join. And then one by one, you're going to see you and all your classmates are going to start disappearing from this room, and you're going to go into your different groups. Once you guys are in your groups, hang tight. I'm going to come to each group and give you instructions. So then I will press the button, everybody will go away, I make sure they know what they're doing, and then I'll go to the first room and I'll say, hey guys, really quick, I just want to go over, do you guys all see the little circle button with the question mark in it? Okay, if I'm not in your room and you need help, that button is going to call me, so I know that you need me. So if I'm working with the other group and you need me, press that button and I will be right over in a jiffy. Okay? And then number two, I will say, okay, this is what we're doing. This is your word, and I'll give them a word. And the word that I've been doing, I've been having one group do cats and one group do dogs. So then I tell them, write the word down the screen. Team leader, you are responsible for writing everything down that you guys decide on as a team. Everybody else, yes, feel free to do it. But team leader, it is your responsibility to make sure it gets written down. I'm encouraging everybody to write it down, but the team leader is the one that is responsible to make sure it gets written down. So then we will have, one group will have cats, one group will have dogs. This is just how I do it. Feel free to get creative. It's not going to do you any good if you have the exact same class as me, so get creative with it. So then I will give them their assignment to work on as a group, and then I move over onto group two. And I same instructions. And then I will come back to group one. Usually they're like, who invited the host? It's usually what happens. And then I laugh at it and say, oh, I missed you guys already, you know. And then I just pop back and forth as I feel like I'm needed, or as I get called for help, and I'll help them through, make sure that they're on track. And then I'll tell each team, okay, you're gonna have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes, make sure you're finished, okay? 2 minutes. I'll go and I'll tell the other team, 2 minutes. And then in 2 minutes, I will close all breakout rooms. It's going to give the students an option to leave their breakout room. And if they don't click to leave the breakout room, it's okay. It will automatically, they have 60 seconds, it will automatically throw them back in the main room, and then everybody will be back together. And then once we come back together, I have somebody on each team share their group work. Sometimes they have a little extra time and they do individual work while they're waiting for the other group to finish. So sometimes I'll have more than one poem that they read. And at the end, whenever I do a new kind of lesson or read a new book or do anything new in these classes, I always get feedback from my students. I'm dropping things. I always get feedback from my students. So then I ask them, okay, who liked this, who liked doing group work? Raise your hand if you thought it was fun, if you liked doing it, if you want to do it again. Okay. Who liked doing poetry? Show of hands. These kids begged to do it again next week. So again, we're going to be doing some more poetry and some more group work again for another week. And then I'm going on to escape rooms. And once I figure out how I'm going to do that, because I've never done an escape room before, once I figure out how I'm going to do that, I will also post a video on here so you can see how I did the escape room as well. This class that I run, it is more of a club level class, so it's really, the students really control what goes on in the classroom to a certain degree. If they want to talk about Minecraft and create a Minecraft thing, they do it. We always just put like the English learning standards into the curriculum, but they're really allowed to have a level of control, and it makes it really fun for them. So if they ask me to do something, I will try my hardest to do it and figure it out. I have never done an escape room, but I have a feeling that I'm really gonna have fun with it and enjoy it once I do figure out how I'm going to do it. I'm really excited about that. So make sure you're subscribed so that you can see how I do it in case you ever wanted to do an escape room, because the kids love those. And then at the end I said, you know, I always remind the students, this is your class. This is just how I do it. This is your class. If there's ever any topic that you want to work on or kind of class that you want to have, granted, they all know it's an English class, let me know. You ask, I shall deliver. Note to self, that was the wrong thing to say. Because then I got, can you deliver a couch for my bedroom? Can you deliver me a basket of candy? Can you deliver me? I said, kids, I'm going to deliver you out of the classroom, and I will see you all next week. So here is a tutorial of what you're going to see on the screen. I already showed you some of the things the kids are going to see.
To start your breakout room, you're going to click on the little box at the bottom of your screen on a computer that says breakout rooms. It looks like 4 boxes. And then a box is going to pop up. That's going to allow you to separate your students into different groups, and you can do this either manually or automatically. I prefer to do it automatically, and then I just move the students around as I see fit. So if I think that somebody else would be better in a different group, I'll just kind of move the groups along. You can also have the students name the groups so they can name their team, and that is always fun as well. Once you accept the breakout rooms that you have established, it's going to send the students a pop-up saying to join the breakout room. So make sure you explain to them what's coming up on the screen. It's going to say join a breakout room. Have them join the breakout rooms, and one by one you'll see all the students disappear as they go into their breakout rooms. Now, as the host, you can toggle back and forth to different breakout rooms. I also like to have the students name their teams. That's also fun. I can't remember if I already said that or not. But see, you can go into different breakout rooms. And also inform the students about the ask for help button. So there's going to be a blue circle with a question mark, and it says ask for help. And if you are in, say you're in breakout room number 1 and breakout room number 2 needs help, all they have to do is click that button. But if they don't know it's there, they won't know to call you to ask for help. So just explain what it looks like, talk them through it, and let them know that you're never gone, you're always right there. All they have to do is, you know, as long as somebody in the group knows how to ask for help, you will be okay, and you can come right back to them while they're doing their group work.
Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. If you're curious about how much you can make as a new Outschool teacher, I will see you over here.